asked me if I would like to introduce Mayor Liccardo. I would love to introduce Mayor Liccardo. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the mayor of our nation's 10th largest city.
Wow.
He's a highly effective mayor. I'm also in a position to tell you that he is a warm, wonderful human being. I'll tell you one other thing about the mayor. Even though he is the mayor of a large city and that would take all of his time, he also sees himself as a citizen of the region. And he's willing to tackle these kinds of regional issues and bring the full weight and gravitas of his city into those conversations. He is, for example, the co-chair of Joint Venture Silicon Valley. That makes him my boss. So Sam, I told you look really good today.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. So my name is Sam. I work for you, those of you who live here in San Jose. And I certainly can't compete with Russ Hancock, and I never can compete with pie or cake. Like most politicians who take the podium, I can imagine when you're sitting out there, you think one of two things are about to be delivered from any given politician. That either A, I'm going to tell you what you already know, or B, I'm going to ask you for something. Well, I see no reason why this morning should be any different. So let me first by telling you what you already know, which is San Jose is leaning in and very engaged in the discussion of community choice aggregation, led by our fearless leader, Carrie Romanow, the head of our Environmental Services Department, just last Tuesday. Just last Tuesday, our council voted to go forward with an RFP. We are certainly more than dipping our toe in the water. We're ready to move forward. We want to learn more, and that's why many of us are here, to learn from you. But we are excited about the opportunity to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Also excited about the opportunity to improve our resilience as we recognize the various challenges to the grid. We know that distributed power will have to be the solution for our future. Now it's my job to ask you for something. So this story actually starts, most really great stories start in Las Vegas. But this story starts in probably another pretty good city for stories, which would be Paris. Many of you know San Jose, like other cities, had explored community choice aggregation, wanted to see how things were going. Certainly we're very interested in the good work being done in Sonoma and Marin and in other jurisdictions. But we have held off to see exactly how the market is going to respond. We've seen certainly a response from the PUC. We know a lot can change. And then, of course, Paris came along, and I suspect some people in this room were probably in attendance. I couldn't make it, I had a city to run. But we have a lot of monkey mucks from around the world get together to determine how exactly we were going to combat climate change. And ambitious targets were set, ensuring that temperature increases would not exceed 2 degrees Celsius. And lots of holes were poked in the air, and grand pronouncements were made, and speeches were given. And at the end of it, what we got really were a series of commitments that, even if they were kept, would not get us to that goal of preventing temperature rise of more than 2 degrees Celsius. So we came back, well, I wasn't in Paris, but those of us who were thinking about what was going on in Paris decided to huddle here in San Jose and think about what our future was going to be. And we decided we'd get done in San Jose what they couldn't do in Paris. So we have recalibrated our goals, and we want to see how we can set the standard for the rest of the world here in San Jose, and why not? In the heart of Silicon Valley, right? This is what we do. So we are full speed ahead, and we recognize that it is a critical element of all this, as I think Russ so ably explained, that we be much more aggressive in expanding the renewable share within our electricity portfolio. We think, based on latest data, I think in 2014 we were about 24% renewable. I think we're probably up to about 30% in 2015. We need to see that scale by a factor of 2 or more in the next few years. And obviously, that kind of ambition cannot be met with the current system. And so we are very interested in learning from you to see how this can be done well. And so that's where the ask comes. We hope you will continue to engage us in dialogue. We're grateful to have us here in San Jose, where so many of us can learn. And throughout the region, we can learn from each other. But as politicians, we're timid folks. The idea of setting energy rates is not something we look at with glee. For those of you who have been in a city council meeting when garbage rates are set, you'll have some sense of the pain that we share. We like to believe that perhaps our residents yell because they love, but they do yell. And we know that there are risks inherent whenever you're attempting to project future costs of energy and sign contracts based on that, and then set rates accordingly. And we need a lot of expertise, and we need your help. So thank you for coming together. I look forward to great things that we can learn together.